Welcome to a fresh edition of Headlines Nigeria on Internet Television International ITI here in Abuja, Nigeria. I am Rachel Lua with summaries of news, politics, business and sport. From the Daily Sun newspaper, Bankole won't quit. Southwest Caucus says Speaker has done no wrong. The Southwest Caucus in the House of Representatives at the weekend rallied support for the embattled Speaker of the House, Mr. Dimeji Bankole, as the caucus met to review the ultimatum given him to resign within 7 days or be disgraced out of office. Spokesperson of the caucus, Mr. Luwole Oke, declared at the weekend that the Speaker had not committed any sins to warrant the call for his resignation. According to him, the caucus passed a unanimous vote of confidence on the Speaker. From People's Daily, fuel subsidy, NLC tackles CBN Governor. The Nigeria Labour Congress NLC has condemned the call by the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Governor Malam Sanusi Lamido Sanusi on the federal government to remove the subsidy on petroleum products. A statement signed by the NLC's acting head Department of Information and Public Relations, Comrade Ona Ido, described the call as possessing a terrifying challenge as it amounts to forcing Nigerian masses to drink in the cup of hemlock. From this day newspaper, Mark Bankole, 36 state speakers meet. In a bid to fast-track the passage of the amendment to the 1999 Constitution now in its final phase, Senate President David Mark and House of Representatives Speaker Dimeji Bankole will tomorrow lead members of the National Assembly Constitution Review Committee to a roundtable discussion with the speakers of the 36 state houses of assembly. From the same paper, senators seek 100% rise in quarterly allowance, each member to get 90 million naira per quarter. As the issue of the proposed hike in the quarterly allowances for members of the House of Representatives continues to generate heat, their upper house counterparts have started agitating for a similar raise. These checks last night revealed that several senators have launched a campaign for a 100% increase in their individual share of the quarterly disbursement said to have been built into the 2010 budget. The increase, if agreed to by the Senate leadership, would see their allocations jump from 45 million naira to 90 million naira per senator per quarter. From the Nigerian Tribune, Ibori's election records missing in INEC's office. A new twist has crept into the corruption probe of former governor of Delta State James Ibori, with all documents relating to his election as governor in 1999 and 2003 reportedly missing in the custody of the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC. Consequent upon this discovery, security agencies have reportedly launched a probe into the circumstances leading to the disappearance of the document, which enabled him to contest the governorship elections in the state in both 1999 and 2003 when he sought re-election. Still on Nigerian Tribune, Northern governors laud federal government over search for oil in the north. Governors in the 19 northern states of the country have commended the federal government for taking the bold step to commence the prospecting for oil in the region. In a statement made available to newsmen in Minna, the chairman of the Ferryman Governor of Niger State, Dr. Muazu Babangida Aliyu, stated that if the discovery and exploration of oil in the northern part of Nigeria became a reality, it will not only boost the economy of the region, but that of the country in general. From Daily Trust newspaper, Speakers Forum taxed federal government on just crisis. The Northern Speakers Forum at the weekend called on the federal government to wade into the just crisis with a view to restoring peace in Plateau State. In a communique signed by the Speaker of the Damawa State House of Assembly, Mr. James Baraka, after the forum's meeting in Dutse, Jigawa State, the group condemned the recent clash between the police and Okada riders in Jos. And in politics, next newspaper, opposition party doubts Jonathan. Despite his insistence that his administration will organize free and fair elections in 2011, President Goodluck Jonathan does not appear serious about electoral reform, the Opposition Action Congress AC has said. The party, in a statement issued by its National Publicity Secretary Lai Mohammed, the party said Nigerians should not be deceived by the president's assurances and should instead judge him by his efforts so far in that direction. From Punch newspaper, aggrieved Oyo lawmakers petition Jonathan, Mac, others. 9 members of the Oyo State House of Assembly, who were among those moving for the removal of the Speaker, Mr. Maruf Atilola, have petitioned President Goodluck Jonathan, Senate President David Mark, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Dimeji Bankole, over the last Tuesday's invasion of the parliamentary building by hoodlums. From the same paper, IBB's presidential ambition and insult to Nigerians, AC. The National Secretary of the Action Congress, Dr. Usman Bugaje, has described the ambition of General Ibrahim Babangida to contest for the highest political office in the country as a zenith of insult to Nigerians. Speaking on the topic, the role of political parties in the electoral reform campaign, at the lecture organized by the AC in the state, the party scribe said that the nation would have been more politically developed if the freest and fairest election was not annulled by Babangida. Ensure emergence of credible leaders, Utomi, others tell Nigerians. Eminent personalities, including the presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Professor Pat Utomi, and the president of the Campaign for Democracy, Dr. Joe Odumakin, have urged Nigerians to ensure that credible leaders emerge in 2011. And in business, Guardian newspaper, government to introduce IPPIS nationwide in October. The Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information Systems IPPIS of the federal government would soon be introduced nationwide from October this year. Already, a training program on the IPPIS has commenced, and the Accountant General of the Federation, Alhaji Ibrahim Dankwambo, has implored stakeholders and functional officers of IPPIS to avail themselves of the opportunity by training and applying same to the interests of the country. From the same paper, U.S. investor to produce solar wind energy in Nigeria. In an effort to improve power supply in Nigeria, a U.S. investor, Synergent Ventures, is to start the production of solar and wind energy through rural electrification in the country. Mr. Pina Beni, the chairman of Synergent Ventures, made the disclosure in Abuja recently when he led the management of the company to visit the Minister of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Jubril Martin's Kuye. Federal government committed to Federation accounts transparency. The federal government on Sunday said that it remained resolute in its commitment towards a transparent and accountable Federation account. The Federation account is made up of all federally collected revenues, including receipts from oil and gas sales locally and internationally, royalties and value-added tax, among others. And in sports, Punch newspaper, we'll learn from our mistakes, Eagles. The Super Eagles have promised to get better with every match at the ongoing World Cup. Nigeria faces Greece on Thursday and lets to South Korea on June 22. Striker Yakubu Ayegbeni stressed that the team gave its best effort in the encounter against Argentina at the Ellis Park Stadium in Johannesburg on Saturday, but wasn't lucky to have lost 1-0. The Everton striker said, "We did our best to win, but it was just not our day. We have to move on and do better in other games." Argentina defeat won't stop Nigeria, Lagerbach. Super Eagles coach Las Lagerbach insists Nigeria's 1-0 defeat to Argentina in their group game in Johannesburg on Saturday has not ruled the team out of place in the second round of the competition. According to the former Sweden manager, each team still has 2 games to play, and what happens in them will decide. Nigeria gave us a good fight, Messi. Argentina forward Lionel Messi has showered praises on the Super Eagles for putting up a good performance in their Group B opening match in Johannesburg on Saturday. Messi stressed that the encounter was very loose for both sides and could have gone the either way. He said Nigeria played very well and missed scoring chances, just as they also did. It was a good match and he believes the fan must have enjoyed the game. World Cup, PHCN pledges steady electricity supply. The PHCN in Kaduna on Saturday assured soccer fans of steady electricity supply during the ongoing FIFA World Cup tournament in South Africa. A statement issued by the spokesman of the PHCN in Kaduna, Mr. Babalimi, pledged to ensure uninterrupted power supply throughout the duration of the tournament. The statement urged members of the public to report faults promptly to enable PHCN fix them without delay. From Vanguard newspaper, no Greek gift, Lagerbach warns Eagles. Eagles manager Las Lagerbach has reviewed the performance of his words against Argentina and warned them that there would be no Greek gift against Greece in the second match of the World Cup. The Swedish still pained that the Eagles allowed Argentina to run away with a win in a match that they had an opportunity of even beating them or at worst share honors with a draw. That's it on this edition of Headlines Nigeria. Thanks for logging on.